Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Spirit Mail. This is a new reading. This is a reading that I'm doing, I feel called to do, and it's called Cope. Cover our personal energy. Based on things going on in the world right now, it's more important than ever that we cover our energy, that we protect ourselves in ways that possibly we hadn't thought of before, or that we protect ourselves even before we look outside our own door to see what's going on in the world, whether it be on social media or on the news or whatever. So this is called Cope. Cover our personal energy. We're going to ask Spirit, how do we do that? I'm going to pull two energy cards about that, and then the third energy card is going to be about our personal economy. So God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, show us clearly in regard to covering our personal energy. What energies would it benefit us to focus on as we move through these weeks, these coming weeks? We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Show us clearly what energies would it benefit us to focus on as we cover our personal energy in these times. And then what can we focus on for our personal economy? We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Okay. Sagittarius, ready? Personal energy, triumphant success. Light, wow. And with your personal economy, we have fertility, wow. Okay, very interesting stuff. We're going to get a theme card for you guys before we pull the clarifiers. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, thank you so much for our friends born into the sign of Sagittarius. Please show us clearly what is the overall theme for this message. We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Guys, it is sad embrace. Okay. We're all going through a lot right now. All of us are. And I feel like there are things that we have taken for granted in the past, right? Relationships with people, being able to interact with people, going down to the local pub and having a beer, or going out to the restaurant with your friends and having a girls' night out, or whatever those things are that just seem to have been snatched away from us almost in the blink of an eye, right? And there's this sadness inside. We're going to read the book, but I feel like this is going to be about focusing, changing the focus, changing what it is that we're focusing on. But look at these numbers. So this is a 4, and for me the 4 is firm and solid foundations, and the 5 is change. And you add them together and there's a 9. And I feel like for everything you've been through for so long, there's this graduation period. It's like you're going to a different level. You're graduating yourself to something new, and whether or not you pass the test, so to speak, is really up to you. We don't just get those diplomas or those degrees because we show up. There's work to be done, right? So love is part of life. Let go and allow time to heal you. You may be entering into a period where loss is a theme. Some of you may have been in this period for a very, very long time. Perhaps you're having to let go of a long-cherished dream, and if so, take heart, for this ending may have been for your highest good. A better and more powerful dream will be realized in your life if you can accept the loss. Relationships based on faulty foundations are meant to end at this time. Disappointment is a form of perception. I'm going to say that again. Disappointment is a form of perception. If your expectations weren't met, a sense of loss arises, along with sadness and grief. Express these emotions. So express these emotions means don't stuff them down. Don't feel like because we're part of a spiritual community or we have to have faith or whatever that we just don't acknowledge those emotions. Express those emotions. Tears are like healing rain that can restore life to a parched inner landscape. Growth is always assured. Whatever the loss, however great it is, let go and experience your feelings. Experience your feelings. I'm going to say that one more time. Experience your feelings so that you may soon see what beauty lies ahead. So, I feel like this is a very good card actually for you, Sagittarius, because you have been through a lot, and now this on top of all of that, right? So now we're going to get clarifiers from the Arcanum Tarot. That card came from Colette Baron Reid's Enchanted Map. These energy cards are from John Holland's Psychic Tarot, which is actually an oracle deck. And then I'm going to clarify with the Arcanum Tarot. God guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, in the vein of covering our personal energy at this time. Clarify for us, why are we looking at triumphant success? Why are we looking at light? And show us in our personal economy. Clarify for us this fertility card. We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Please show us clearly, why are we looking at these energies? Okay. We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Okay. Okay. So clarifying triumphant success, we have the Magician. And we have the Seven of Cups. Clarifying the light, we have the King of Cups. And we have, wow, the Ace of Cups. Clarifying fertility, we have the Hierophant. And we have the Devil. And fertility is your personal economy. Okay. So we're going to dig into this message and see exactly what's going on here. So triumphant success, if we take this card, this is an oracle card. If we take this card and line it up with the tarot, this would be the Ace of Swords. So I feel like Spirit's saying there's some kind of clarity for you to find right now at this time in your life. Some kind of clarity about your truth. And it's being clarified with the Magician. And with this particular card, when it comes out, the way I read it is, it's a reminder that we are always a magician. Everything that we think, everything that we feel, the frustration, the anger, the resentment, are the peace, the joy, and the love. It's coming out into our reality, because what we feel in our heart is what comes into our reality. So we're always in this mode. And perhaps that is your clarity. Perhaps that is what Spirit's wanting you to understand or focus on at this time in your life, is that this is the truth of the situation. We are always the magician. And some people might say, well, yeah, but I mean, how can you focus on anything good? Look at the world. Look what's going on around you. Guys, there's always something to focus on that can give us some kind of peace. Even if it's just, I'm aware that I'm having these thoughts. I'm aware that I've been in this funky mood for a long time, and that's how long life has been funky. And which came first, the funky mood or the circumstances? Which one came first? You know, it's like, and I'm not talking about from childhood. I'm talking about as we become adults. There's this, I'm seeing this poster right now. It's called Attitude. It says and it talks about that our attitude is so important, because life is about, let's see, how does it say that? 90% attitude and 10% of what happens to us. I'll have to find it. I'll have to find it. But it's about attitude just being so important. It's how we look at things, how we perceive things, because even in this card, it said that sadness or those feelings, that's perception. Disappointment is a perception, right? So I feel like Spirit's wanting to clarify for us in this Sagittarius reading, we are always the magician. Our thoughts and our feelings really do matter. And then we have an option, right? And our option, we could have several options. And I don't feel like this card is about picking one thing to believe in it. I feel like this card is about allowing Spirit to be what pulls you forward, or to be what walks by you, next to you, as you change your perception of things, and then see what things are out there that complement that way for you. But this is our higher self, the Holy Spirit, spirit guides, our Creator, all that stuff. It's not like they override us. We have free will. It's almost like they are there to do whatever we tell them, to do whatever we and whenever I say tell them, I don't mean tell them with our mouth. Because we might say with our mouth one thing, but feel with our heart something else. It's about what we want deepest inside of us. But they don't override our free will. If we want to sit around all day and look at the news and get immobilized because of it, get to a point crippled and all that, they're going to let us, because we're the boss, basically. Okay, so that's what I feel like, that's what this clarity is about. So whenever it comes to covering your personal energy, I feel like they're saying we're responsible. We are the ones responsible for our personal energy. And if we choose to live in this state, this is a perception. If we choose to live here, we will bring more of that, more reasons to have that in our life. So the next card is the light. And Sagittarius, I'm telling you, you guys get this card probably more than anybody I know. And I feel like they're saying it's the numbers 1-9. It's the same as the Sun card. That is the most optimistic card in the deck. So why is this coming out in your reading again? Because I feel like Spirit's asking you, begging you to find something beautiful to focus on, to find something beautiful to look toward, because these other emotions do not serve you. And they're telling me right here with this card, Sagittarius, you've been down this road, you've come far enough and long enough to know that what you've been doing is not working. And so these emotions that don't serve you should be left aside. This is the King of Cups. He's mature. He understands that. And he understands that to walk into this light, he has to find it. He has to get up and move from where he is, because where he is not, there's no light where he is necessarily. So for him to find that light, he has to get up and move. He has to let go of those things that no longer serve him. And he has to walk forward in trust and faith that the light is there and that it wants to present itself to him. Then you have the Ace of Cups. So here's your clarity. The overall energy is clarity, that we're responsible for the things that we allow to be our truth. And then you have the light. They're saying we want to bring it to you. We want your cup to be running over, Sagittarius. So in this time, especially in this time, because not only have you been going through it, but now the world's going through it, and you're saying, to hell with you, Spirit. I mean, I can literally hear some of you saying that. It's not just me. It's you. You hate the whole world. No, that's not what this is about. This is about the energies of the collective, right? For every action, there's a reaction. Whenever our collective focuses on certain things, that we become innocent bystanders of that energy, no matter how much we work on our own energy. But we have to cover our personal energy in the process to be able to move through it like him, in a way that allows him to walk in this regardless of what the rest of the world's walking in. This is what they're trying to give you, where you feel that absolute fulfillment within yourself, where your cup really is running over in spite of the circumstances around you. It's really beautiful. Okay. This is powerful. This is your personal economy. You have fertility, which is the Empress. You have the Hierophant. And you have the Devil. All three major arcana. So, we could look at this energy and say, Spirit wants you to focus on birthing something new into your life. There's something that you've been wanting to do that maybe you haven't done. Why haven't you done it? Because you're attached to the way that customarily things happen. This situation that the world is going through right now, I really feel like it's a reset. People in the spiritual community have talked about the age of Aquarius coming in. It doesn't just on the day that the age of Aquarius starts coming in, it doesn't just happen. It's going to take years for this to come in. And so we're in this birthing period, right? And there's a gestation period, then there's the actual birthing period. And what happens during the birthing period? We have contractions, and it balls up, and it's painful. And it's painful. It balls up, and then we push, and a little bit of that baby comes out, and then it balls up again, and it's painful. That contraction is very painful. And then a little bit later, that baby moves a little bit further out of that birth canal. This is a process, right? These old structures that are going to fall away, I feel like Spirit's saying they are falling away. But instead of you going out, Sagittarius, and doing what you feel called to do, it's like you're wanting to still rely on the old structures. So Spirit's saying we have to let go of these earthly attachments. This is about addictions and self-sabotaging thoughts and earthly things that we're attached to that we just can't let go of. It's about letting go of those things, finding a new way to move in your personal economy. It's not necessarily going to be easy. It's a process, and sometimes it's painful. But what happens whenever we walk through that? Whenever we walk through that and we're unsure, we don't know when's the next contraction going to come and all that stuff. What we do know is that on the other side of that, there's going to be a beautiful life brought into this world. So it's the same thing. Whatever it is that you're going through in your personal economy, don't doubt that at some point you planted a seed about something that you wanted to do that was different from what you've ever done. But there's part of you wanting to still hang on to the old way of bringing your money in, and there's part of you that just can't seem to let go of that way of thinking. And Spirit's saying for you to move forward, for you to birth this baby, for you to go through this gestation period and then the birthing period, these old ideas have to go away. Wow. Okay. We're going to do your PS. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, I thank you so much for our friends born under the sign of Sagittarius. Please show us clearly what is the PS. We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Please show us clearly what is the PS. Guys, you in particularly, because this has been a journey for you guys, and you're at this graduation period. 4 + 5 is 9. For me, that's graduation. It's like they're up leveling you, or they're wanting to help you up level because of something that you wanted to do. You've planted a seed within your own path some time ago, and I feel like they're wanting to bring you to this new level. Okay, what is the PS? We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity, and we thank you for clarification and confirmation and validation. God, guides, angels, archangels, and Holy Spirit, show us the PS, please. PS, it's a balancing act. Guys, it's head and heart. We have to balance the two. We have to bring them into coherence, right? We have to decide in our head that we're going to let these things go, and then we have to let it seep into our heart space. We have to let these two things match. It's a balancing act all the way around. We cannot hang on to old hurts. Old hurts serve us not at all. So just like this thing said, if you're hanging on to an old hurt, right, it's time to cry it out, punch it out. And I don't mean punch a person, find a punching bag. Get that out of your system. And I don't mean stuff it, I mean feel it. Feel the feeling of it. Work through it. Cry, scream, snot cry, can't breathe cry, whatever those things are that you need to do to get to release this. Spirit's begging you to release those old hurts that you've been hanging on to for so long. This is where they want to bring you. Guys, look. You've got the King of Cups, you've got fulfillment, you've got the Ace of Cups. And then you've got the Ten of Cups. I really feel like on the other side of all this, if we can get through this, and you in particularly, because this has been a long journey for you, this is what's on the other side of it. But we have to get here first. That very first Sagittarius reading I did, I'll never forget it. I don't know if it was the very first, but it was very early on, about the man in the window. He'd done all the right things in his mind. He kept thinking, I did all the right things. Everything I've ever done has always been because it's what I was supposed to do. And I feel so empty. So I am going to put a link in your description again for heart math, a talk about heart math that gives you direction on how to contact this heart part of yourself. I'm going to put it in your description. So go down and click. It's a TED Talk, and from there you should be able to find out more information. Guys, I love you so much, and thank you so much for stopping in and spending time at Spirit Mail. Go out and be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to work this out, whatever that is, whatever this is that you're still hanging on to. Allow yourself to release it. If you need to call me and holler at me, or email me and tell me you need to holler at me for a little while, I will send you my phone number and you could call me and holler at me. You got to get it out. I love you guys very much. Have a super duper day. Bye.